Hi, this is Larry Johnson, and this is another in my series of vlogs, or is it vlogs? I don't know, one or the other, on improving corporate culture. And today I want to talk about onboarding. In other words, bringing new employees on to make sure they get started on the right foot. I was reading a book this morning that I'm really enjoying called, here it is, Shaping the Future. And it's by Bill Belgard and Stephen Rayner. And Steve and I are really good friends. And but I'm not plugging him this book because we're good friends. It's because I'm really enjoying the book. It's got some good stuff in it. Especially a story they talk about in the book about a couple of ships in the Navy, the USS Stanley and the USS Fox. Now, these two ships were virtually identical ships, produced at the same shipyard at pretty much the same time. And they were staffed by the same kind of levels of staff. And yet, over the years, the USS Stanley consistently performed way lower than the USS Fox on all the tests that the Navy likes to run during operations. And, you know, the Navy, like most military operations, likes to test everything out to the nth degree. And it was a puzzle. Why were these two ships so different when they were identical in terms of their mechanical capability, their technology, the level of staff they had on each ship? Why were they so different? And so the Navy sent in a team of consultants to try to figure that out. And one of the things these consultants did was take two brand new recruits fresh out of boot camp and send one to the Fox and one to the Stanley as new recruits, new sailors on board. And then they documented the differences in what happened to these two sailors. And they said the first day was remarkably different for the two ships. And each time, the sailor showed up on a Saturday. Yet when the sailor showed up at the USS Stanley, there was nobody there to greet him. He walked up the gangplank and got onto the ship and wandered around for a while looking for somebody to talk to see if he was in the right place. Finally, he found somebody who said, "Oh, yeah, that's right. I heard you were coming in. Come on, I'll show you where you bunk." So he took him down to his room. And there was no bunk in the room. And so he had to just stay there in the room without a bunk or any place to sit, and ended up sitting on his duffel bag. And he actually ended up sleeping on that duffel bag that night because nobody brought him a bed till the next day. And he also didn't get anything to eat that night. Nobody had shown him where the mess hall was, and this new recruit didn't know what else to do, so he just sat around. Oh, and the guy who showed him around had nothing but bad things to say about the ship. I mean, he was being held off of shore duty because of drug usage, and so he was the one who got stuck with orienting the new employee. So compare that with what happened to the new sailor on the USS Fox. He arrived, and there was somebody in a crisp new uniform to greet him, showed him where he was going to bunk, explained to him what the rules of the ship were, showed him where the bathrooms were, showed him where the showers were, showed him around the entire ship. And while he was giving him this tour, gave him a history of the ship and why they have a winning tradition on the USS Fox. And then took him down and showed him all the trophies and awards they had received. He had really positive things to say about the captain and the other people that sort of command the ship. And for some reason, the Fox consistently outdid the Stanley on all of the tests that the Navy is so fond of having the ships go through and so carefully measures. And this was not only a one-time thing, but it had been over years that the Stanley had come in way behind the Fox on all the performance measures. So this might be a good indicator. Now, the consultants didn't think this was the only reason that there was such a disparity in how these ships operated, but it was an indicator that how you orient somebody makes a difference in how they perform, and it's a reflection of the culture in which that performance is expected. And so it probably behooves us all to think about, how do we orient our new people? In lots of places, new employee orientation, if it happens at all, is just a matter of sitting in an office for a couple hours while you fill out forms and learn about the 401k and maybe go over the employee manual and the rules and regulations. And then maybe, if you're lucky, somebody will show you where the bathroom is. And that doesn't convey anything about the culture or what you're all about or what the mission is or why it's exciting to work at your company, your organization, what's really cool about it, what you need to kind of keep an eye out for. Just in other words, kind of orient this person at a real basic level about what you as an organization are all about. That can make a huge difference in how your organization operates. So if you're a manager and you have anything to do with how new employees are oriented, you might want to think about that as you set up your new employee orientation program. Anyway, that's my thoughts for today. Hope to see you again. If you need to reach me, my name is Larry Johnson. You can reach me at 800-759-4933 if you have any questions, or you're interested in having me come in and do some consulting, or I mostly do training and provide training for your managers. You can reach me at that number, or you can reach me by emailing me, Larry, at larry-johnson.com. Until next time, thanks for tuning in.